Hey everybody, it's Peter again for MLB Trade Rumors and Discussions. It is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. We're going to finish this alphabetically order in baseball. We're up to the Detroit Tigers today. But before I speak about that, there's been talk, obviously, and I mentioned this yesterday, about baseball happening all in Arizona. And there was a lot of players talking about they didn't want to be away from their family for a few months and everything. I get it. I wouldn't want to be away from my son or my daughter for that long. That's horrible. But I would figure something out, right? Whether hotels or whatever you got to do, rent a house out. But I think the point here is there's got to be something going on, right? We want to get something to go on. Otherwise, if we wait for this to get back, the problem with the virus is that it's always going to take still one person to have it before they can still spread it anywhere in a ballpark or anything. There won't be things for a very, very long time. And what it does is it affects people's lives. It affects people's with the contracts, people getting older. It affects a lot of different things, right? And at this point, guys, there may have to be some type of sacrifices, and I hope they can come to an agreement in baseball, whether it's in Arizona or whatever they have to do. But they should have to have something kind of in concrete within the next couple of weeks. That's my hope, just for the fact that baseball needs to be being played and other sports need to be played. There's people's lives, there's drafts, there's rookies, there's people at the end of their contracts. There's a lot of lives at stake here. So things need to be done and solidified for our teams. Otherwise, all hell, it's a domino effect. It will break everybody else's, it'll affect everyone's lives. So I get the not wanting to be away from the children and stuff, but I think that way it could be a little bit worked out more than doing the other way and not playing. That's just my opinion, right? I'm not saying that I don't understand the players. Anyway, up to the Detroit Tigers. We'll make the Tigers quick because obviously they're going backwards too. But they made a couple of moves this offseason for some veterans that I always like these things, right? I always like these little veteran deals because you can always flip these guys at the deadline and get players that hopefully can turn into something later, right? So they got CJ Cron, which I really like, right? His brother's on the Diamondbacks, but I really like CJ. He's proven that when he plays, he can hit 30 home runs. It's a big ballpark, but he'll do well. He's going to get a lot of at bats there. He'll probably bat 240, get you 32, 33 home runs if they play a full season. And that, whether you flip him at the deadline or whether you keep him, and then, that's what you use, that's fine. Then they made a move for Jonathan Schoop. I could see him doing well, right? The guy just seems to not able to stay healthy. I don't know if I was Schoop having the twin big ballpark and in Detroit, it's tough. But the reason he did really well also when he's in Baltimore, the ball flied out over there. But I like Schoop. I like that move also. That's another guy that can do well, and you can flip him for whether it's a starter or a minor league or a bullpen piece, whatever you want to say. Then, what I do like is their ace and Boyd. That guy, honestly, they need to trade and get a good haul back because he's a really solid left-hander that reminds me of a guy that if he goes to a good team, it'll be a completely different thing. Maybe not J.A. Happ back then, but sort of like that, where the guy can definitely eat you innings. He'll sit there. Some games will get 9, 10 strikeouts. I watched him last year, and his stuff is filthy. So if you put him on the right team, I can see that happening, right? But after that, it's kind of tough. Jordan Zimmerman, I feel for this guy. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if his arm is dead or what, but when he was on Washington, it was a whole different picture. And just this guy's just giving some bad years to Detroit. I like Goodrum at short, whether he's short, second, wherever he is. I like him there. Miguel Cabrera is still there, still got the big contract. He still can play. I'm a little surprised that they haven't ate his contract, right? You're going to pay him anyway, doesn't play, and get a couple players back. Because who couldn't use Miguel Cabrera on a good veteran team that go into the playoffs? I'm just surprised they didn't do that and eat most of the contract and maybe get somebody back. I know Miggy is just, to me, one of the best players I've ever seen. And up until about 4 years ago, he was the best player in the league almost every year. He was phenomenal. No more, I mean, they got guys like Jacoby Jones and everything, but I just, they're not there. I also like the move for Ivan Nover. That's to go with those veteran deals. Another guy that probably is going to do well because he is a fly ball pitcher, and if you pitch in that ballpark, the ball deep center field, it's going to die out there. So maybe you could flip this guy also at the deadline to a team that needs a veteran pitcher. Another guy, you take 2 or 3 guys, you package them, get yourself back a starter, a minor leaguer, a bullpen piece, and there you go. That's how you start building the team. It's tough because Detroit. I remember the years with Maglio Ordonez, and it was just watching that team in the playoffs. It was just awesome. They were great, man. It was fun to watch. The ballpark was rocking at that time with Verlander back in the day. Things change. Uh, Scherzer now is with Washington. They won the championship. It's no coincidence, but it's tough. It's tough to see for Detroit, but they'll bounce back. Again, teams like that bounce back. Good ball clubs, especially Detroit, right? Like a baseball team, they'll always bounce back. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.